Son?
What are you doing here?
We need to have a very serious father-to-son discussion about protection.
Shut up, Dad.
This is serious. Now that you're a man, I know that you and that girlfriend of yours have been going out, what are the kids today calling it? Splitting the wood?
No one calls it
Splitting
that
the wood,
anymore, Dad.
Well, it's very important.
You're a douchebag.
You need to listen. It's very important that you protect yourself because I love you.
Stop being
I love you
gross.
and you need to protect yourself. So I want to make sure that you know how to use one of these.
Oh, Dad, that's gross. Put that back.
You need to watch this. I'm going to demonstrate on myself so that you have some sense of how to use this particular... Hey YouTube, this is Praxis Prepper, and this week I'm on vacation here at Yellowstone National Park. If you've never been, it is a really interesting geological area because the entire park is located on top of the caldera of a massive supervolcano that only erupts every 600,000 years. While I'm here, this week, it had to erupt this week while I'm here. That's perfect timing. That's great. Well, as soon as that shockwave hits, I'm gonna get fried, so I guess since I'm gonna die anyway, I might as well take this opportunity to get a few things off my chest. The big one really is that it's been a secret, but I guess I'll share it now. I'm quad-gendered polyamorous. Even I don't really understand what the quad-gendered part means, but polyamorous means that I am sexually attracted to plastic. I wanted to share that because... What happened?
Well, the effect was going to be too time-consuming if it hit the tree line, so we decided to stop it before the tree line.
Oh, so that means I'm not going to die?
Yeah, you're good. What was that sexual peculiarity you were talking about?
Well...
What was that all about?
This is a joke. I was just...
A joke, yeah?
Just fooling.
Mm-hmm.
Just fooling around. I'm totally normal. Totally normal. What's a six-letter word starting with the letter P that means someone who says they're going to do something but doesn't do it?
Praxis?
This is video log number 100. It's been 100 days since the aliens invaded and dropped the bird flu-infested clown zombies. I was prepared for that contingency. As a prepper, of course, you would prepare for that. So the very next day, I started my fortifications and, of course, gardening. Now, I'd never gardened before. It's been a bit of a rough go. Steep learning curve, I suppose. But this morning, I finally started reaping the rewards from that garden. I just harvested 20 pumpkins. This is the largest of the pumpkins. This is smaller than I anticipated. I don't know if this is going to work out. Hey YouTube, this is Praxis Prepper. Imagine with me for a moment, total collapse. Total Teotihuacan. Total Teotihuacan. The end of the world as we know it. You're walking across a post-apocalyptic landscape, scrounging for everything that you need for your daily life. You see a building, the first building that you've seen in months. You go inside for shelter, for comfort, for safety. There's one room inside the building. Has scientific markings on it. There's electricity running into the room. There's still some lights on inside. You go in there, bright flashing lights, electricity! That was a time machine. You just walked into a time machine and now you're 100,000 years into the future. What are you going to do now? Now it's even more total Teotihuacan. More total Teotihuacan. It's a post-apocalyptic landscape. There's nothing anymore. These peaches you see behind me, they're gone! Extinct. You do find one can, a can of delicious food. You open it up with your can opener that you happen to have in your pocket when you walked into the time machine. You open it up. It's a delicious soup-like material. But you don't have a spoon. There's no spoons. Spoons are gone. Are you going to suffer the indignity of trying to drink it out of the can? No. You need a spoon, but you don't have one. Are you going to starve to death? What are you going to do? What are you going to do, asshole? Huh. Looks like it's gonna rain tomorrow. That's it! I am sick and tired of your shit pessimism!
Have we survived yet?
No, not yet.
Have we survived yet?
No.
Have we survived yet? Have we survived
No.
yet? Have we survived
No.
yet? Have we survived
No.
yet? Have we
No.
survived yet?
No.
Have we survived?
Dude, are you drinking out of the piss cup? No. The Berkey filter's just getting a little old. It's not what it used to be. Looks like the piss cup, dude. Oh. No. You're right. Yeah, this is the piss cup.
What are you doing?
Oh, it's just an antibiotic.
What do I need that shit for?
Well, you got a little bit of fuzz on your fins.
Wait, that says human antibiotic.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's for people too, but it's penicillin, and penicillin is penicillin. So don't worry about it. It's all the same thing. Okay.
Listen
I'm
up,
just,
Dairy Queen.
okay,
You put that shit in here, and you're gonna be sleeping with the fishes tonight. I don't mean that sexually. That was not intended to be sexual. That was a threat.
I'm sorry.
Holy shit! You f***ing you better watch your back, you mother.
Hey YouTube, this is Praxis Prepper. On a recent alien invasion episode, I used a Faraday trash can to protect some of my electronic devices. Now, I got a lot of questions about... What are you doing? I told you to stay in my childhood. I told you to stay in my childhood. The power of Fred compels you. The power of Fred compels you. The power of Fred compels you. The power of Fred... Which clown zombies are they dropping? Those are totally the bird flu infected ones. I have trained for this. It's time to bug out. Oh yeah, we're out in the wild now. We're getting out there. Shit. Where the f*** am I even going? Where am I going?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we're talking about the power of prepping, the wisdom of being prepared for life. We're talking about the story of Bear Grylls. Bear Grylls, a survival hero who survived 40 minutes in the desert. That's right, that morning he woke up in his hotel room. He went down to the production meeting with all the rest of the crew. Did he have a full crew breakfast? He had a continental breakfast, just a continental breakfast of waffles, toast, bacon, eggs, coffee. Someone give me an amen. He was starving with this scant breakfast. The production crew had warm coats on. It was very cold that morning. But did Bear Grylls have a production coat? No, he had his costume. He was suffering in his costume. He had hand warmers in his pockets and his boots and all up and down his back. But other than that, he was suffering, surviving in the wilderness. Someone give me an amen. Hold on. I'm feeling the power of prepping. It's telling me somewhere in the audience there's an unbeliever, someone who doesn't believe in the wisdom of prepping. But don't worry. Someone give me an amen. Give me an hallelujah. That's right. We're gonna turn them into a believer.
Well, that was offensive. Are you one of the millions of Americans who think Praxis Prepper has just gone too far? Are you asking yourself how anyone with a different view on foreign policy could ever teach you anything about gardening or other survival skills?
Praxis Prepper actually carries a gun? I can't listen to him.
I had to put on body armor and unsubscribe so my mind wouldn't be blown.
Well, unsubscribing from Praxis Prepper has never been easier. In the past, unsubbing on YouTube was a nightmare. There were mail-in forms, messy waxes, not to mention those hard-to-clean blades. But no more. Now, unsubscribing to Praxis Prepper is as easy as the click of a button. Simply scroll down to the unsubscribe button, click it, and instantly you're back in a safe space.
The man cans trash. I mean, trash in other people's dumpsters. Just count me out.
It's been 2 weeks since Black Panther came out, and he hasn't said a thing. Unsubbed.
Praxis ain't no prepper. He doesn't even do gear reviews.
That's right, your safe space is just one click away. Unsubscribe today. Hey YouTube, this is Praxis Prepper, and today is a very special episode. I've been waiting a long time to do it, and to help me with it, I figured I'd ask Amber to help me out. Oh, hey, our banana showed up. Sweet. Okay, cool. Hey, could you help me with today's episode?
Yeah, sure. What's so bad?
Awesome. The title of it is Teabagging and Shit Eating for Post-Test...
No!
What are you doing? I need your help! I need your help!
I need your help.
Well, welcome to our live stream, and it's a disaster already. We've already had a whole host of technical issues. I hope that you can hear me okay, because the capture device that we usually use, our camera, couldn't connect to the computer, though the audio that you're hearing is feeding through the camera, which apparently can get connected to the computer. I don't even understand what I'm saying. But anyway, one way or the other, welcome. This is the live stream related to the Project Homestead series. I am Praxis, and this is Amber with me, and we are here to answer any questions that you have about homestead building, retreat building, or anything related to emergency preparedness, including probably the election. I'm imagining it's going to come up at some point. If you're new to these live streams, you should know that kind of the format here that I prefer is for you guys to ask any questions that you may have. I've built a couple of homesteads in the past, and by a couple of... Amber, you are messing up my world right now.
I'm sorry.
I'm not used to looking at the computer screen while this happens. Usually the camera's off the side. Amber kind of does her magic on here, and I'm finding this really distracting because I'm right down below where I'm looking at for you guys, and it's just really distracting. just to complain about it a little bit. So how many people are here? I see Amber got rid of that information on the screen, so I don't know that either.
I had to move the thing over so I can read it.
Yeah. Okay. And we've also had. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, there's usually like 2 or 3. I guess we have 4 people here. Let me know who you are, so I know who's here. And I do have a bunch of updates on what's been going on for our build. As of the recording today, it was day 626 that we're recording. And the past couple of weeks since we've done a live stream have been really, really eventful. We have all sorts of new stuff. In fact, why don't we just jump to that right now? This will get you guys caught up to a date about what's happening right now as of this morning. Hey, here we are on site, and there has been an awful lot of developments in the past couple of weeks, and I want to share them with you guys. Starting with this corner right here, we are finally starting to round the corner, figuratively and literally, except that it's not round at all. But we're going around the corner with our wall boards, and this is kind of the first corner of the house where you're starting to kind of get a sense of the completed package. Now we are still working on the greenhouse roofing material. We still got to get that up there. And today I'm going to be working on continuing this stuff across here. These are a lot of little short boards. They should go pretty quickly over there. But that's going pretty quickly, pretty easily. We've got this back corner all covered up in foam. That took a little while to get around to doing that, but once we did it, it was pretty quick. We've got the grounding rods in. Here is one of them right here, and the other one is 8 feet over there, hidden in the leaves. You can't see it, but you know what a grounding rod is. One little minor mistake, I won't call it a mistake, but I wanted to neglect to put in these wall boards until we had the grounding wire going down to the grounding rod. So I'm just going to kind of pull one of these boards off, drill the hole through, and then bring the grounding wire down, and so it's coming in, or it's coming out behind the drip edge of there instead of coming right out through the surface. That's something to do in a little bit, but not a huge issue. This is kind of the work area where we've been doing most of our work lately, just grabbing from the lumber pile of exterior boards there. Amber has been doing a lot of sealing of them here. She's going to be here later today, and they dry over there. We've got a lot of great dry days right now at the moment, so we're taking advantage of them. This is one of the very few sections of house that does not have insulation on it, and we're almost there on that one. Coming around to this side, this is the only complete side of the house that has no insulation on it yet, but in doing the eastern side, I remember it went pretty quickly, so this western side here should go pretty quickly as well. Let's head right inside and we'll see what's going on inside, and there are a lot of developments. One thing is right in here, you're really getting a sense of the space here. We've got the roof ready to accept the clear roofing material. The back wall is up over there, and hopefully we can start using this as a dry workspace. Up until now, we did some tarps and stuff like that, but it hasn't been super dry in here. This right here, this black stovepipe, is a little clue of what we're going to see when we go inside. So let's head right on into the inside of the house. You'll see that a lot of the woodwork is coming along. We're starting to get lamps in here, and I'm not sure if you can hear it yet, crackling around the corner, but the wood stove is in, and today it is going. So I think it came out really nicely. Sits right in there. We've got it on a couple of bricks to get it elevated up off the ground a little bit. I think that makes it a nicer height for working on. I would like those bricks to be half bricks. At some point I think I'm going to cut some bricks in half and then swap them out. I just had whole bricks, so we did that just to get it in and functioning. But now, as you can see, it's burning, it's cooking things, and the entire run all the way up to the top is all 100% completed. Whenever you install this kind of black pipe stuff for a wood stove, it's a good idea to do the first burn when it is warm outside, so that, well, the reason is because when you do the first burn, usually when this black pipe heats up, it vents out a lot of, it's burning off oils that are on it, extra paint that's on it, things like that. It makes the whole house stink, and you really want to vent that stuff out. This is a double-walled pipe. We were forced to do that by code regulations. This is single wall right here coming up and out of it. By the way, that's getting a little on the hot side. 550, that's about as hot as you want to run this. We probably want to close down the air intake there. Single wall here, and then going into double wall pipe for all the rest of the run up. When we did the first burn with all this new double wall pipe, we didn't get any of that kind of awful smell. So that was a learned lesson for me, that you know, with a double wall pipe, it does not seem to vent off as much. We got more lights ready to go here. We've been working in the bathroom up here. The sink area is set. Walls all done, all the way to the top. There had been some consideration in my mind and in some of you guys' mind about making this dead space up here above that wall like a secret hiding place. I didn't end up doing it just because we're kind of pushing time and it takes longer to make secret trap doors and stuff like that. Plus we have plenty of opportunities to hide things. I mean, we have plenty of woods. We can go into the woods. We can bury things in the woods, you know, whatever. I'll have some secret hiding places in the house, but I'm not worried about having every single place be used as a secret hiding place. This room here, we got the whole wall all sheathed up there. There's going to be actually an openable little door there that'll give access to this window, to open that window. That's not quite in yet, obviously. Railings are in. We've got this wall where the media stuff is going to be. There'll be like a monitor here, and we did an HDMI run and a electrical run and a speaker cable that comes out right behind the monitor, so when it's on the wall, it doesn't need to have any wires going up to it. There is an outlet below, but why have wires run in front of the wall when you can just have them run inside the wall? Coming up here, we're going to the top floor, and this top floor is essentially finished. There's a couple little sections of wall that aren't done, like just this place right here is not done, and right next to this door, there's a little gap that's unfinished. But other than that, the entire place is complete. This is River's room. He's starting to utilize it while we're here. It's a little computer desk. You can play music up here. Got a bookshelf for him. Some of his toys are there. And let's get a good look at this wood floor, because I know there was a lot of hope and expectation on my part, and I know a lot of the viewers' part, about how this was going to come out. And I think it came out really nicely. You get a sense of the gloss on it, the sheen, that final water-based seal that I put on here, so far so good on it. You know, even though I was a little nervous about it beating up on the wood, what I actually found out is that, it's weird, I don't know why yet, but in the closets, I didn't bother staining them. That's just raw wood. This part's stained with 2 layers of stain. This part is just raw wood. When I put the first layer of water-based seal on this, it soaked right in, just as I would have expected. When I went and put the second layer on, it beat it up on itself. So apparently the water-based seal that I got, that Eco Pro Coat stuff, it tends to beat up even when you apply it on top of itself. And you're supposed to be able to put up to 5 coats of that stuff on things. I don't know why only 5, but you're certainly supposed to be able to put multiple coats on, and yeah, it beads up on itself. So that's was weird. It threw me for a bit of a loop, but it seems like it's nice and strong. You know, it's not really scuffing up or peeling up or anything like that, so seems all right. This room here is our big storage room, and that's actually what it's starting to get used for. Over on this side is food that we're putting over there. These are some shelving units, some rack shelving that we're going to be using up here. But all this stuff, it's eventually going to be pantry stuff down in the pantry, but our pantry's not done, so we're bringing it here. Every time I come, I bring a few boxes. You can see that we are both Amazon and Walmart subscribers. Well, not subscribers to Walmart, but we buy stuff from them. These 2 boxes from Amazon, well, 3 boxes, represent a very small minority of boxes that actually survive the shipping process. I've bought a few things from Amazon before, from Walmart before, and almost always the boxes come in really, really bad shape. Same deal with the stuff that's inside of them. But, you know, we're in kind of a specific situation, so I've been continuing to kind of utilize them and try to get, you know, some use out of it. And these are a couple boxes that survive the trip, but usually they do not. They come in horrible, horrible condition. Over here is stuff that's not food. You know, I'm just kind of like somewhat organizing it. We've got toilet paper here and some weapons actually in the corner. A couple of bows right there. So the reason that we're starting to stack stuff here is just so every single time I make a trip, I'm bringing stuff over. So instead of me working on the house with an empty car going back every every time. I am, coming here with a full car and leaving here with an empty car, and then the next time I come back and it's the same kind of deal. So hopefully when we actually do the move, there's going to be a lot less, stuff to move. There'll be things like beds and, I'm sure, microwave oven, things like that. But a lot of the, the food from the pantry, the extra stuff, hopefully I'm going to be able to have all that stuff moved ahead of time. So things are going all right. I think maybe we got like 30 or 40 days or so, which kind of puts the series in kind of an interesting spot because today, at the time of recording, we're around, I think it's day 626, and in 40 days it'll be day 666. I'm not going to push it one way or the other. I just want to push it so we get in as soon as possible. But wouldn't it be kind of interesting if a series that started out as being called Devil's Countdown ended on day 666? We'll see the way it happens. I'm not going to push it one way or the other, but I'm looking ahead in the future, prepping for, what's going to happen, and there's a pretty good chance that this series is going to have 666 days in it. So that's it. Let's go back to the live stream. Hey, here we are on site, and there has been an awful lot of developments.
Well, the software stopped working in the middle of the thing. Apparently it thinks I'm on a trial period for the software that is doing this cutting and presentation here, and the issues just keep rolling tonight. But, we're prepped, we're prepared, we have all sorts of different ways of doing things. I mean, if this whole thing goes down, just look out your window. Depending on where you are, we're up on the northeast part of the United States, and look for smoke signals. We'll just start sending out as binary code. Okay, that's mostly, I just need feedback from you because there's none over here. So hey, welcome Ryan and Alicia to the show. If there's anyone else here, let me know that you guys are here. I noticed, Alicia, you said that you also did bricks underneath your wood stove. I think to some degree it's kind of attractive, just having the bricks under there as opposed to having it so squat. It also makes it a lot easier to clean under if you can get the wood stove up. And I think that it in a theoretical sort of way of looking at it, it probably improves the convection around it, kind of getting it away from the floor. The higher you can get it, you can get those convection circles. This monitor is really bothering me right now. I don't want to put too far. It's like looking at yourself in a mirror, but with a delay. Like I just wave my hand like that, and then like a moment later it goes by, and I find it really irritating and distracting. And maybe I can't cover it up because then you won't be able to read anything. So, to let you guys know kind of what's left, because in that video I talked about how close we are, and we are really getting close. What's left is not really that much. I said like it's maybe going to be another 30 or 40 days for us. We want to finish up the outside. We've been really lucky with the weather over the past what's it been? Past 4 days or so.
Yes, past couple days,
yeah.
A few more days of nice weather.
Yeah, because we had the remnants of Hurricane Zeta, I think it was, that came up, and it hit us or like right on top. The monitor is really. Can we make that smaller or something?
Is it really bugging you that much?
It really does. It's messing up my whole process.
Okay, I just think commenting about it every few minutes.
It's really unprofessional.
Yeah.
It really is unprofessional. But it's sort of like you're talking to an audience, and there's someone in the middle of the audience that's standing up and waving their arms at you. It's really distracting because I'm literally looking at myself, like flapping my arms at myself and waving, and it's really obnoxious. Okay. I'm obnoxious to be presented to because that's what I'm doing right now. So anyway, we have some really good weather. We had the remnants of Zeta came and hit like with a cold front from the north, and we got a bunch of snow, and that really got me kind of like nervous that, oh man, winter's here. But it's 70 degrees tomorrow here, and it's just been dry and sunny. Amber was here today. Yeah. Helping, and by here I mean there, over the build site, and we're just trying to finish up the outside boards. If we can get the whole outside kind of covered up, then we are able to just focus on the inside, and there's not really that much left to do on the inside. It looks like we have maybe a question or something like that. Oh, it's Skull and Bones. So all that's left on the inside is we have to finish the electrical, and I need the electrician for that. I let them know that we have all their material on site. They're going to do the final hookup to the breaker box, and they're going to hook up some of the switches because they sort of cut off all of my dad and my labels on all the wires that went from one box to the other. My dad and I had kind of labeled, this wire comes from here and it goes to there. They cut that off, and apparently they have a system for knowing which wire is which after they cut off all the labels. So they're going to do all that kind of stuff. I think they have about like 2 days left of stuff to do. I notified them, let them know that everything's ready, and I got a text back that said yes.
Yes.
I don't know what that means. Yes. I told them everything's ready to go. You can come whenever, and they just said yes. So hopefully it's an affirmative. So I guess that's good. We not related to actually getting in. We're pretty close to getting our radon thing taken care of. They were supposed to be here today, but they didn't show up. The they in this case is the site work people. I asked them if they had a drill so they could go through the side of our foundation wall, 10 inches of concrete with a 5-inch hole. I am going to be paying them, but it is a bit of an irony that they're the ones helping me to solve the radon problem. And they're also the ones that brought all the radon contaminated rock in and put it underneath the house. But there's no regulations. I found that there are no regulations barring them from doing that. It's a standard industry practice, apparently, to dump radon contaminated gravel under houses as a method of mitigating radon. So what they did was technically totally normal, so I can't really raise a stink about it.
So they caused the problem, so you have to pay them to fix it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a problem that around here you're likely, or you have a decent chance of having radon here. So maybe the thinking is that you're so likely, like, it doesn't even matter if we dump radon under your house, you're going to have it anyway. Yeah, so they were supposed to come up today. They didn't show up. Hopefully they'll be here soon, and we'll take care of that. But once the electrical's done, our plumbers can come in because the hot water will be functioning. They can finish up, hopefully patch all their leaks. We've been getting new leaks every couple of weeks on their stuff, which makes me feel really, that was like Kermit the Frog there for a moment, which makes me feel really uncomfortable about all their work, because I tried to keep most of their work accessible because I had zero confidence in their ability to do their own job. But I mean, some of the pipes had to be buried. Some of them had to be buried because they went through walls that they weren't supposed to go through because the plumbers didn't listen to me and put them in the wrong place, and ended up running them through some walls and stuff. So I feel really uncomfortable about burying a lot of those pipes because, I don't know, the ones that I have eyes on, a lot of those are developing leaks, which is, I don't know, you guys, I don't have to go on about that. It's just, clearly that's really stupid. It's really irritating, and like, yeah, a plumber should be able to make pipes that don't leak. Yeah. Is that me going on a limb there? I don't know. So they have to show up, I think, one day to just fix their leaks and hook up all the sinks that they said they were going to leave parts for, but they never did. And then the only other thing to do is to put on some railings. We have to put some railings on the stairs. I already cut down some trees, little trees, like a diameter about that, a couple inches, 1.5 to 2 inch diameter railings is what you need. And I cut down these nice black birch trees. Gonna get them all smoothed down. I bought the little retaining metal things, like the brackets that hold them on the stairs. That came in, and that's it. And we can move in after we finish the floor, which Amber is spearheading.
Yes.
Yes.
But right now I'm focusing on sealing outer boards since we only have so many nice days left.
Yeah, that's where we are right now. We have some other comments and things. Okay, so Alicia says, I hear Oprah saying, you get some radon and you get radon, everyone gets radon. You get some radon and you get some... Oh, that's so weird. Is that from Oprah? Is that a thing from, is that like, does Oprah say that? Because River and I just today were watching the Lego Ninjago movie, and Garmadon, who's the bad guy, and also the father of the main character, Loloid, he has a giant mechanical shark suit that fires sharks, and while he's going through the city, he's saying, you get a shark, and you get a shark. So is that like an Oprah thing? Is that like an Oprah gag?
I don't know if it's an Oprah thing. I've heard that phrase used in a lot of different contexts. So yeah. I don't know where the original's from.
It's funny. The last time that I was actually thinking about Oprah is, you guys might know that I did a video, which one was it? Yeah, it was the one where I predicted the outcome of the election being very close, but tipping towards Biden. I was told by a lot of people that was crazy. It's going to be a landslide for Trump. It's just absurd that it was ever going to be a landslide. It was always going to be close. Some people that have, aside from the people that have criticized by like clearly wrong, projection because it was going to be a landslide for Trump. A lot of people sort of congratulated me. They were like, "Oh, great job!" Like how'd you know? It really wasn't very difficult. I mean, I think outside of people who were living in a bubble, like their echo chamber bubbles, it was. I think it's pretty obvious to everyone it's going to be a close election. So that wasn't very difficult at all. And then from there, between it being close in going Biden or close in going Trump, you got a 50-50 chance of getting it right. So, you can't feel like too great at, like, oh man, I nailed that one. It's like, it was a toss of a coin. And it's like, 50-50 chances, those are pretty good at getting it right. The last time I was thinking about Oprah was, one of the nasty comments about that was, I forget the whole gist of it, but they really didn't like black people, as they put it. And they were talking about how no one's going to vote for Biden, something about the black people, and black people are always destroying businesses. And I think I commented something like, "Oh yeah, if I had a nickel for every time a black person destroyed a business, I was destroying businesses." But then I thought later I should have been like, "Oh, and Oprah's the worst." It's like, is there a business she can't destroy? She couldn't create a business because she has like the most successful business on the planet. It was a joke. That was why I was thinking about Oprah. But yeah, a lot of nasty people out there. Do you have any questions or anything? Oh, and Justin M is here, and Glenn Arthur, welcome. You're falling off the ball. You're supposed to you're like a Walmart greeter. Except that you're not like 80 and a male.
What?
Are all the Walmart greeters males?
I've never seen a female greeter.
Exactly.
I
don't know.
I've heard that that's a job that some people like doing after they retire, just to give themselves something to do.
It is something to do. We got some more comments here, and I can actually read them now. How close are we for some prepper government collapse action? How close are we for some prepper government collapse action? I'm not really understanding what the question is there.
I think the question is, how soon do you think we would have to prepare for government collapse?
Okay, I guess that's a more simple way of looking at it. Yeah, it's really hard to prophesize that kind of thing or predict it. I think something that is a sort of a useful way of looking at it is like what happened to the USSR. Because that was, in some ways sort of a similar situation. There was overreach in expenditure, overreach in trying to have world control. I would imagine if the United States had a situation like that where the government folded, it would probably feel a lot like what happened in the former Soviet Union. And what happened in the former Soviet Union was, I think, kind of surprising to most people. People were just kind of going about their daily lives. Was it on a Tuesday, I think? I think it might have been on a Tuesday, and there was the official state television station that was, I think they were doing the Nutcracker or something. It was some Tchaikovsky thing that they were having on their official television. And then, was it Gorbachev at the time? Why am I asking you?
I don't know.
and then Gorbachev came on the television, was like, "Oh yeah, FYI, government's collapsed." And so I feel like it's gonna all governments end at some point. That's not going out on a limb saying that. There's no government that's ever existed that hasn't collapsed, except all the ones that haven't yet. But you go 1,000 years in the future. It's hard to imagine the government's going on and on forever. So, when it happens, I think it'll just be really difficult because a lot of them are able to continue on for a long time, even when it feels like they shouldn't be able to. So it's hard. It's hard to have a timeline for that. But that doesn't mean that you can't get ready for things like that, because it covers all sorts of other things. The types of things you do for that is have some security, have some, assets that you can grab, and those things are useful to, whether it's a hurricane or social unrest or anything like that. So I think it pays to not really focus on necessarily what specific event you're trying to prepare for, but do the types of things that cover a broad range of them, and then you don't have to worry about necessary timing on any one particular. Was there another question?
Somebody's predicting that this country will eventually turn communist.
Yeah, a lot of people make those kind of predictions, and I think the United States is different from a lot of other countries because in this past election demonstrated it, is that we have roughly 50% of our population or more that are heavily armed and really anti-socialist. And I don't think that, like, I don't think that our government would think that they could get away with going too heavily socialist or too heavily communist, because if there's one thing the United States has demonstrated is it's really not that great at dealing with insurgent campaigns, and that's what they would have on their hands if the government suddenly was going to, like, okay, we're going to flip the switch to communism or whatever. But that said, yeah, I think a lot of people look at, like, you know, there's capitalism and then there's communism, and it's like oil and water, they don't mix. And it's really not that simple. I mean, it's kind of a continuum, you know, of like government providing every single service and does all the thinking for you, to governments provide no services and they don't do any thinking for you, and you're, you know, it's like anarchy, I guess, would be, you know, at that end of the spectrum. And we're kind of floating somewhere in the middle. And, you know, we have a lot of, you know, people are, not all people, some people are really afraid of the idea of socialized medicine. They think that that'd just be the worst thing in the world, even though it seems to save a ton of money in other countries and works really well in every context that I've ever really investigated. But you know, people are really nervous about that, because they're thinking, well, you know, if we have socialized medicine in the United States, you know, they got the death panels, and, you know, Uncle Sam's going to be telling you whether or not you can get your operation, or, you know, tell you whether or not you can get your boob job, or whatever you guys want to get done. You know, I don't see any reason why it would have to go that way. We have other things that are socialized in this country already, like the socialized police force. And I know, you know, issues aside with like police, you know, abuse of power and all that type of stuff. Think of, you know, the idea of socialized medicine compared to sort of the socialized police force we have. Not everybody has your own private police force. You know, there's a, you know, government-funded police force that you can call on if you need them, sort of like having a government-funded medical system that you can call on if you ever need it. But if you want more security, no one's telling you can't hire your own personal security firm. And I think that if we ever had socialized medicine, it would look an awful lot like that, where you would have kind of like the base level safety net that the government would kind of provide in a really cost-efficient way, I would imagine, because that's the way it's happened in all the rest of the world, and you get rid of all the red tape and, you know, all the advertising and all that kind of stuff. So there'd be this kind of like safety net sort of thing for everyone. But if you want more medicine, if you don't think that's good enough for you, I'm sure that there would be private market stuff that would pop up, you know, like the fire, fire stations and stuff like that. Same kind of thing. It's like communist socialized fire stations. But, you know, if you want more fire protection, there's companies you can hire that'll do sprinkler systems for you and everything. So I don't really see it as being like a, you know, black and white, you know, we're either in anarchy or we're in communism, and you know, you have to choose which one it is. You know, I think that there's kind of a feathered blending of approaches between them, and, you know, some things collectively are done really well. Like, it would be kind of stupid if every single person, like, I personally want to take a trip to Disney World. I live up here in New England. So the first step, obviously, is to hire a private contractor to build a road for me from here all the way to Disney World, so I can drive to it. You know, that doesn't make any sense to do that in a private sort of way. It makes sense to do that collectively, because everyone's going to kind of use the same road and everything. So I think, you know, some things are best done collectively, and some things work better privately. How do you feel about that, Amber? Because I bet you have kind of a slightly different feel of that than I do. Don't just say ditto.
I don't really have much of an understanding of that kind of stuff.
Well, communism bad, capitalism good. It's black and white. It's really easy. What else do we have here? Do we have any other comments? We're getting a little bit on the late side, but we can do a little bit more. Mr. Me works pretty good in Canada. I'm not going to... Technically, it works pretty well in Canada, but since I agree with the sentiment, I'm not going to grammar Nazi on it. I've kind of started doing a lot of the grammar Nazi stuff, because like River, my boy, is kind of learning to speak, and yeah, not that I'm harsh with him or whatever, but he uses the word well correctly as an adverb, and good as an adjective. So, you know, I've been trying to model proper English for him. Do you have anything else? Oh, and Mr. Me's here. Yeah, what did I just say? Yay, boot jobs. Okay. Anybody else? Oh, and Gargoyle Stand. I'm not familiar with Gargoyle Stand. Welcome. Are you new? I'm not sure. Any other questions, or are we good?
Got a a couple of questions.
Have I ever met ethical preparedness in person? Kind of. Not physically. That makes it sound really seedy. No, we've talked on the phone a couple times. We've had conversations outside of, just the internet filter, commenting back and forth on each other's videos. He helped me out with the Alien Invasion Series 1. He did his own episode. He's a really nice guy. He sort of took me under his wing when I first started my prepping channel. He found my channel and was like, hey, this guy's kind of cool. I think that actually Prepper Potpourri might have come across my channel first, and she had mentioned, and then, anyway, we've kind of known each other for a while. He seems like a really genuine guy. If you're new to his channel or anything, he seems like a really, really quality person, really genuine guy. Whenever I, you hear stories about, the police go off and shoot someone's dog, or police do this, whatever other thing that's horrible, because there's all these awful examples of police doing whatever. I always just think of ethical preparedness. He's a police officer, and not all police are awful. In fact, they're probably mostly pretty good, because he's kind of a nice guy. But then, I think that's an important aspect to actually reaching out and kind of contacting and communicating with people that are different from you. Because whenever, we talked about those echo chambers, people that are in the echo chamber that are all pro-Trump or all pro-Biden, and they think, oh, our side's going to have a landslide, our side's going to have a landslide, everyone that doesn't agree with us is horrible. I think it's easy to really fall into those kind of echo chambers and exclude people that are different from you. But when you actually reach out and you interact with people that are different from you, you find out that even people that, you've been led to believe are monsters, that are horrible people, are actually by and large usually pretty decent people. And I think that's a really important thing to do in our general life. The internet is always kind of funneling us into like-minded people, groups, and I think the more that we can kind of actively try to seek out people that have different opinions from us and engage with them, I think a lot of people who are doing that for the first time would really be surprised that the majority of the people that are out there are good people who want the same things as you, who appreciate and value the same things as you. We have different life experiences that lead us to kind of have a different focus in the way that we view things, or the way that we see things, or the way that we think about solving a problem. But largely speaking, all of us are, pretty much the same and are looking for the same types of things. And when you actually interact with people, and by interact, I don't mean just shouting in all caps over the internet, but have a real conversation with someone and really listen to them, it's really calming, I think. Where the media is out there just and politicians, so many politicians are out there just telling us how different we are from our enemies. I think that's caused a lot of stress for people. But one real remedy for that is just reaching out and actually interacting with some people in some real ways, and you'll find out that people aren't nearly as horrible as you might be led to believe. Do we have any last questions or comments? And otherwise, we should cut this effer off.
I think that might be it.
All right, well, thank you guys all for joining us tonight. We probably don't have that many more of these, because we're almost done. You sound so excited about it. I am thinking it might be nice to continue the live streams, maybe as a once monthly thing once we finish with the Project Homestead series. At the end of the Project Homestead series, I'm going to start preparing for the Alien Invasion series Season 2. There is, a lot of that's... It's going to take a while to get that up and running. We have a little mini-series that's going to happen in the middle of that, which I played a trailer for before. I'll be announcing that officially on the channel coming up. But I think even going forward, I enjoyed these live streams. Maybe just do them as a monthly thing. We'll probably keep them on the first Friday of the month. But, while the series is going, we'll be, doing the double Friday thing, at least until it ends in 40 days, which will lead us to day 666. And that is it. Thank you guys all so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time.
This episode is brought to you in part by Burning Hearth Homestead, a nonprofit that aims to provide seeds, live plants, and education to the community, both local and extended. Plant seeds, plant knowledge, plant the future. If you'd like to thank them for supporting this channel or find out more about what they do, go to burninghearthhomestead.org. Please subscribe and tune in every Friday at 4:30 New York time for a new video. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can do so both through Patreon or PayPal.